What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Happy Friday, and today we'll be doing our monthly iTrustCapital video. We're going to go over a bunch looking at the Bitcoin price chart and its macro uptrend over the past few cycles. We'll take a look at the tokenization estimates by BCG being a $16 trillion business opportunity by 2030 or even 10% of global GDP, along with the institutional crypto custody market expected to reach $10 trillion by 2030. We'll take a look at the total market cap of the crypto asset class, comparing it to the largest companies, where some of the largest companies are larger than the entire asset class today. Other organizations not just experimenting or building proof of concepts, but actually beginning to build on blockchain. And the reasons I have a crypto retirement account with iTrustCapital. Let's kick it off. Alright, first up, the Bitcoin price chart in the monthly time frame. So, as an investor for a retirement account, my time horizon is way longer than a trader maybe on the 4-hour time frame. I'm looking on the monthly and the weekly time frames, these higher time frames, looking at the overall trend, ideally a strong uptrend. And whether or not you care about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or altcoins, Bitcoin is the #1 asset in this space. It has over 50% market share of the entire crypto asset class, so what it does matters. And we can all speculate on the timing of these bullish impulses taking out the previous cycle tops, whether it's the halving, global liquidity, elections, all types of considerations. But what we can see is Bitcoin's been around for 15 years since 2009, and looking at these overall market cycles, we can see periods of multi-year bear markets and bull runs. In the early days, from the cycle top into breaking into all-time highs, these cycles were shorter in length. Other periods have been longer. The structures and accumulation or reaccumulation were different, but the end result has always been new cycle highs. So Bitcoin gave birth to this asset class. It is the #1 or best performing asset in history. Then Ethereum came and gave birth to smart contracts and really the birth of Web3. Now we know Brad Garlinghouse predicts that the crypto asset class will reach $5 trillion in 2024, this calendar year. Even Raoul Pal, formerly Goldman Sachs, estimates the cycle top, whenever that happens, whether it's this year or further in the future, to reach a $12 trillion cycle top. And I know, thinking of these numbers, it sounds crazy to believe, but if the crypto asset class were to reach multiple trillions, taking out its previous all-time high at 3 trillion, reach 5 trillion, the size of the cloud market, or even more, a certain percentage of GDP, that means Bitcoin historically would have to go a lot higher in the future. So of course I want to see price appreciation as soon as possible, or any type of rhymes with past cycles before doing those major moves in all-time highs. Whether it is in a quick period, it's a bumpy road to get there, it doesn't matter. I want to see that end result. Especially for my crypto Roth IRA, which is 100% tax-free. So rather than just trading on Coinbase, even if you have long-term capital gains rates, you're still paying taxes on profits. And even without thinking decades in the future for the crypto asset class to reach $100 trillion, the size of the global equities market or the bonds market, that's fun to imagine, but I'm really just thinking of the next few years. If the crypto asset class gets anywhere close to BCG's estimates or Ripple and Medico's, that's huge. So I know it's fun to imagine the crypto asset class at dozens of trillions of dollars, 50 trillion, 100 trillion, similar to the size of some of the largest asset classes today. But even just creating all-time highs or 5 trillion or 10 trillion in the future, that opportunity is huge. Just looking at last cycle top right here, when it broke out, it went up well over 200% in all-time highs, almost 300%. And that move alone was massive for alts. Even Ethereum from its cycle low did over a 60x, and after this point it did over an 8x return. So when I'm looking at the previous cycle top around 3 trillion, that's what I imagine in the future at 5 trillion, 10 trillion, etc. We're seeing adoption for the crypto asset class. We're seeing regulatory jurisdictions begin to take it seriously. I know the SEC in the US is very slow. But just to compare, the first gold ETF took over 2 years to reach 10 billion, so it took over 2 years. What BlackRock's Bitcoin Spot ETF did, it broke through that threshold in a mere 7 weeks. Those types of stats absolutely blow my mind. I know prices are down for the altcoin market, crypto's always a scam in bear markets or when alts are at lows. But I just have to remind myself of things I saw last cycle until Bitcoin drew its first major move into all-time highs. We had backtest on the 21-week EMA. We have a bunch of potential catalysts from huge issuers like Fidelity and BlackRock with their due date for the Ethereum Spot ETF to potentially be approved, all taking place in 2024 between May and August. So how I think about my retirement account with iTrustCapital, I'm not married to iTrustCapital, but I'm here because I actually own the digital asset. I'm not owning shares of an ETF. I'm leveraging a qualified custodian. Per the actual terms, if they ever went out of business, which I personally don't see happening, but if they did, because they leverage a qualified custodian, iTrustCapital account holders by law get access to their funds. So I get my funds and I roll it over to another provider, whether that's another crypto provider or I go into US dollar and just go into Vanguard and the S&P. Being in crypto is scary enough, so those types of assurances make me feel a lot better by law, because if you had your funds on an exchange per some exchanges with their terms and conditions, if they went down, good luck getting your money back. So the fact that iTrustCapital leverages a qualified custodian makes me feel a lot better. Plus knowing that the assets are held off balance sheet and enterprise grade cold storage, so it's completely offline with MPC security. Now I have a Roth IRA, but there's a variety of different accounts available. The reason I have a Roth IRA is because I rolled years ago one of my original S&P 500 Roth IRAs into BitIRA, another crypto provider, but the fees were outrageous. They didn't offer many different assets besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then in January of 2020, I created an account on iTrustCapital. So they actually used to have monthly fees, but now there's no fees whatsoever. So I have iTrustCapital linked in the top of this YouTube video description for anybody interested. If you use that link and you fund your account, you get a $100 funding reward. So I've had an account for over 4 years and there are no management fees. There's no hidden annual fees that you're hit with, no monthly fees. There's just a 1% transaction fee if and when you buy and sell. So if I am just holding this for the long term, I'm not even trading it, I'm just holding assets, I am paying $0 per year. For me, it was a no-brainer after my past experiences and knowing they have over 30 different digital assets available today. So they definitely have options. I would just love to see 50 to 100 assets available instead of just over 30. And I just watched the recent interview of iTrustCapital on Paul Barron's YouTube channel discussing AI assets in different sectors. So what's really cool about iTrustCapital is they offer a variety of retirement accounts between 401ks, TSPs, 403bs, 457s, and different types of IRAs. So traditional, a Roth IRA, even SEPs. I have a Roth IRA primarily because I want 0% capital gains and I want these gains and I want it to grow 100% tax-free. And I see the crypto asset class having a really asymmetric risk reward, so that's just what's right for me. And to learn more, you can go check out the Learn Center. I like going to the support tab and clicking support home. With a bunch of information, videos, step-by-step walkthroughs, it's super easy and you can always submit a request. And you, of course, can reach out to your CPA or a tax advisor and see if any of these accounts for exposure in the crypto asset class would be good for you. Like a SEP IRA for business owners or single business owners, there are situations where this can work out a lot in your favor. And a SEP IRA or an SEP has a much higher contribution limit. So for example, a single member business owner with a SEP IRA, so you can have a huge contribution limit of 25% of your income. And the contributions to the SEP IRA are tax deductible, so this is reducing your taxable income. So there could be some years where it makes a lot of sense and other years where it might not, but you'd be reducing your overall taxable income, so you're saving on taxes. And with these contributions, you're also building a retirement fund. And there are 3 ways to fund your IRA. You can either 1, transfer an existing IRA, 2, you can roll over an employer plan, or 3, just contribute new funds. So it made sense for me to roll over my Roth IRA. You can even start an account with as little as $1,000. I like the idea of having a nest egg in Web3 specifically long term. I can buy and sell 24/7, 365 on my phone. I can go to the US dollar at any point. I can enter the market, leave the market whenever I want. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Huge thank you to all that hit the like button, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.